Okay, here's an EA that I made up based on the buy low, sell high theory. We're using a filter of RSI true set to true on this. If we are above 90 with a 5 RSI, that's pretty fucking extreme. If we're below 10, we buy. So it's a classic overbought, oversold RSI filter. If you put 5 period RSI on your phone on the 15-minute chart, we're going to test on the 15-minute chart. You'll be able to know that you're getting filled. You should see the tickets coming in. The other filter I'm using is, I guess how many tries here. That might matter. I haven't played with that yet, but just right now we're running a scaling factor. You can change this so you could trade Bitcoin if you wanted. So this is the things I asked AI to build for me. And it's called the Multiple Configurable ATREA 20 pack. This is the initial criteria. We have the infamous money management tool, which I've never used actually. This is another reason why the person is asking about what do you do about the tickets. Well, inevitably I've seen some targets I think that are going to happen because I'm pretty romantic about the trading, and I can see the final destination, but we may not make it there, so I kind of stay at the party a little too long, I think, that the police come. But if I had the trailing stop here, the global trailing stop set to 60 pips, I think this is 60 because I'm in the Forex thing. You'd have to adjust that to taste on the crypto. Somebody asked about crypto, but you know, cryptos, you got to build the robot just for that one crypto. It's pretty customized shit because of the scaling factor. And we have this is a good old clunky ass RSI bot, really, in essence. Clean as it gets. But the magic of this is that we have 20 trade blocks that we're going to launch based on this. And we can set the time so we can under trade the market. We can just say, well, only trade, you can test a version where you only trade this, right? So what I would do if you want to go down that rabbit hole, take this script right here and call it the 7 a.m. Just call it the Asia session. Maybe it just trades one session. Maybe it just trades U.S. session, and name it that, and then change these settings, and then save it and configure it. This way, as you rewrite the script, the title can be pretty long in Windows. I'll give you that in Windows. Long name, file name. You can kind of just name it what it should be, so this you can build it out. But I can't. There's no Holy Grail bots, so this is just a version of the Holy Grail. The delta here is how far away from current price are you getting in. This is your trying to make 50 pips. We got a 60 pip trailing stop, so actually we're giving it quite a bit of room. Not all tickets are the same. Here we got a kind of a not a great ratio, but we're getting in 45 pips deep with a 3K now. We're starting to pile in. This is going to expiration 60 minutes. So these are just kind of the reason I call this the 60-minute or the 1 hour through the 12 hours, that we got beyond 12 hours here. We go into 5,000 minutes as you come down into the lower. We got 200-minute expiration. Now we're going to really start to double down. It's going to martingale in now with heavier size, coming in with a 6K. Coming in for expirations of 600 minutes now with an 8K. So this is a juicy fuck. So is this 400 minutes. Now we're doubling down. Now we're going to triple down here, become 1,100 minutes with a 10K. We got all the way up to the 20K here. So this is for the people that like to trade big and heavy. And long expiration, 3,500 minutes here expiration. Down at the bottom, we get all the way up to 6,000 minutes. There, I said it. Now I think we can do that. Now notice the notice the wide stop down here at 800. Now this is the key. Each module, each 20 blocker, by the way, these will also be cell blocks. So this is a symmetrical robot that is actually putting out potentially 40 tickets at a time, although it can't do that because RSI is saying, no, we just want the big juicy trades. So I just ran a test here. I'm going to delete this and start the test over. Oh, we've got to open up this thing. Navigator just to fucking... Oh, wait. Just start. Just take the speed down. restart the same robot. So you just saw the robot. Now we're going to watch it trade the market with my template to slow it down so we can read it. This is the 15-minute chart. I'm going to speed it up and just go flat out here. And just let it fill in. So I think you can see my trade is going to show up here. I told the robot to be triggered by RSI, really. I only call it the ATR bot because it's like, well, the tickets, of course, it's going to martingale in here. It's not been triggered yet. There's not enough data. We got to fill up that RSI indicator to get to the 90 or 10% overbought, oversold. 15-minute chart, right? So this is kind of what I'm aiming at for a practical robot that I would run every day. And you can always take it down to 1Ks. It doesn't have to trade this heavy. So here's a perfect fill based on that criteria. And let's look at the returns we're getting on this robot. Currently here, I just started it. So it's anywhere in time. It's a fair bet. And realize that this is just 1 day of trading here. And it's going to do, it does pretty good. I watched it trade for the first 2 days. So I kind of know what it's going to do here. It's not that it won't blow itself up down the road. That's possible too. And we're doing every tick on the test playback, every tick. Japanese yen. Now it is the yen, so we have this, and I put a kind of a tight spread in there. So it may be a little fictitious because if the spreads widen in this, this is not a fixed pip broker, so it's a little bit maybe suspect, but look what it's doing here trade-wise. It's already out of that trade. So it got in on the plunge down there. I think it's already balanced out. I don't see it. But you can see the trailing stop trailing on this, which is just the most beautiful thing in the world, really. If you're like me and you don't really trail stops because it's just too much of a pain in the ass and you really don't want to fuck with it. Now, those pendings down there are going to last supposedly 5,000 minutes. You saw the 6,000 minutes on the 20K sitting down there at the bottom of that rack. Now, if that lasts for a couple days, I'll have to say that it's working, right? But I'm not sure what happens here during back testing if it just kicks it out because the end of the day has come and the computer's resetting, and I don't know. But this is the thing about babysitting the playback of the robot that you built. My plunge bot, my limit bot, my void bot. Here we go. Perfect. It laid another rack in. Perfect. So those are still pending. Beautiful. I would always buy down there forever and a day. So this is a beautiful swing bot. If you don't, it's actually basing the entries on the 15-minute chart. Think about it. It's looking for psychosis on the 15 for its entry criteria. It's fucking beautiful. So that is the whole plan there. Look, it's coming right near my entries, and hopefully this is going to last for 500 minutes. We make it into tomorrow. Starting to get a fill a little bit there, slightly, no, maybe-ish. So how close do we get to the market? The better trades are the ones that are really deep. The less frequent the fill, 50% of the time we'd be out of the market. We're just going to trade the wicks on this. This is a wick system. Just let it do its fucking work. Don't worry about it. If you're going to buy because it's oversold, well, just face the fact that's what you do. Just admit to it and just build a robot. So that's what I did. I built a RSI bot that's just a dumb bot. Tell me when the RSI is pounding through the floor on the 3. I could make the RSI 3 too. I could tweak it to 3. I could do a test of that and maybe run a team of bots. Now, the nice thing about having the global stop and the global RSI on a 20 pack like that, 20 blocks, is that you have a master thing. You can run that tighter stop. You can adjust each 20 module, and you can run, now you're running an 80 pack if you're running 4 of these bots with different criteria, different expirations, different ratios. Some are scalpers, some are just linear, some are martingale. This one, I went with the martingale just because if you can add a 1K in a system like this that's a set it and forget it system, do it. Now, so far, it's standing up to its criteria. Those pendings are still pending. It's beautiful. It's adding you can see them starting to disappear now, though. So I think it is abiding to the actual time factor that I gave it. Let those things bake out there like a fucking cake out in the rain, right? Just let it bake. Let it happen. Now, I get it. There's better trades there that we could be putting in a nice dense pack that are triggered on that 15-minute chart where the RSI only needs to be oversold by 20, it starts throwing him in. But you'd have to build a whole other robot like that because you need a baseline for the bot, for the strategy. This is the baseline. It could still throw sell limits in here. It's not limited to the sell limit on this system. We started with $2,500 here, I think, or we started with $3,000. So we're up $110 on like 7 trades. But it's only been 2 days, and like this is kind of a high drama bot. It's looking for the 5 period to get kicked over. If I go back and I set it at 3, I think it would trade more. Look, it's throwing another pack down there. Beautiful. So it's actually, oh man, look at that. Wow, beautiful. Now that's the yen for you. Look at that fucker just pound ass. Okay, it's the pound ass currency. Look at that thing, man. Now, if we had a nice bot in there right now, we would have just made like 40 pips in a very short period of time. Wow. I'd say U.S. session, man. You could also limit the robots trading to just U.S. session, right? It only trades that drama. Whether it's up or down, and it's a selective bot, but you need a bunch of these bots, right? You need like 10 bots on one account doing one thing on the yen. Magic numbers are different. Look at that. Man, what a fucking beautiful trade. So here, we need a robot that can trade that 15-minute chart like a beast, right? Especially in the yen. But look, it's still got those pendings in there. It's amazing. So here, I'm going to run it forward in time. You get what it's doing. I want to see the results. Every tick, skip forward. Let's see what it does here in the long run. So it's binary. It's going to buy and sell. Super long pendings there. I don't know if those long pendings are going to fill. We should be able to see the spike in the volume of the trade here. But it does pretty good actually. Starting with $3,000, so we're up like 1,500, and it's closing out the trades because of that trailing stop. We didn't get to see the trailing stop move on this chart, but when it really starts to go fucking nuts, and it is hedging, so it might have been better to trade in one direction here. But it's not bad considering, right? Heavy load there down at the back of the chart here, and heavy position filling here from maybe long fitting pendings down in no man's land somewhere. No Fibonacci, no moving average, just the strength of the market going against RSI. Well, you know, RSI is giving us the extreme oversold. We're getting in. Just no questions asked. RSI is set to 5. Threshold is 90 and 10. Just buy and sell. Trailing stop of 60 pips. Capable of filling quite a bit of tickets here, I guess. Okay, so coming out of the woods here, the drawdown was not a little nail biter. Came within, still up on the account though. You know, still it's the yen, so it's gonna be rocky. It's not a smooth equity curve on the yen. You're either gonna be a millionaire or you're gonna be fucking broke. Okay, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. There's nothing you can do about it. It's global criteria though. We could have separate criteria, and I did write one that has separate criteria. This one does have separate ATRs though. So the ATR is supposed to trigger a different ticket here. And maybe it's not dramatic enough, but see this ATR increase? I just went up and added 1. Literally just made it symmetrical, right? This could be some wackadoodle number like 40 ATR, but right now the ATR period is set to just be 1 notch away, just to make it totally linear in that. So kind of taking that out of the formula, but that is the monkey business number that if you play with the ATR, which I'm not going to get into now because then I got to get out the keyboard and edit all this shit, but that was supposed to be the unique criteria to this order block, but the unique criteria at the moment happens to be the take profit. That's enough. And the sizing and the expiration. That's enough. And how far away from current price? 25 pips deep, 30 pips deep, 35 pips deep. the delta away from current price. And here, let's change this now. Let's come and make a big dramatic situation. Let's make this 3 and watch this bitch over trade. And it might become a fucking money maker, or it might blow up the account. So we don't have to reload. We compile it. The name is the same. The trade remains the same. We're going to have 346 trades on the last version. Now we just put the RSI on 3 on a 15-minute chart, and we're just going to let it rip. Put in the last template. I slow that down. Let me get my template in. I want to see if it does the same trade. I'm sure it's going to trade its ass off now. Template slows down the market playback just enough. Enough indicators on there to take the wind out of the sales here. So it's very sensitive. It's putting in buy limits now. Oh, look at it. It's very hyper. Beautiful. Love it. Wow. Long expirations on this shit too. So this should be crazy. All I did was go from a 5 to a 3. Now it's a very aggressive trader. I like it. That's how I used to trade all the time. I just didn't have a trade plan, that's all. Look at that martingale into that fucker. Oof. Wow. Kind of blowing that out. I'm blown out there maybe. Am I still in that? Looks like we're getting crushed now. Oh, it's too sensitive. Why so sensitive? Because you set me sensitive. You made me sensitive. Oh my lord. Oof. Gotta widen the stops on that shit. This yen, you gotta widen those stops, dude. Whew. Yeah, we got it's a fucking Phil City there. Gotta have some scalps in there. So the top of that, the longer they last, the more you gotta scalp out. I can already see you gotta rewrite the script on that close to the market shit. When you make the sensitivity of your entry go up, you need to set the first part of that rack to a scalp theory here on the top. So this needs to be set at like maybe 40 pips to make 30 pips, right? So you got to give it some room here if you're going to trade that aggressive. Right, so you got bad ratios at the top here. So you can make some kind of fucking money. Make 25 pips here. 25 with a another 40 pips stop. I hate to say it, but if you're gonna do this thing, now that's a good ratio there, 30 to make 40. But once again, maybe you only make 20 here on this 5K. Give this one a 50 pip stop. It's only a 3K, and you're kind of just 60 minutes. Let's say, how about, yeah, that's good. That'll take care of the news. Now we want to say 45 pips here to make 35. Now we're going to go for the better ratios of 40 to make 60, because we could really come off the floor here. 40 to make 50. I'm just thinking what I would do on these bottom scalps here just to take it off the table. And maybe a swing trade down here of a nice 50 pip stop. The old 50 to 50 break even. Diversification is the key. If you make sure that this robot's dropping different, we're a half a pip apart here. Probably should get in a little deeper here on this 600. Bring this down another 10 pips. Just because it doesn't hurt to go deep, long and deep. Another That's a nice juicy target. That's good. That's a good ratio here. Now we can go for the, or we can do a total engulfment. This might have to be a little bit wider here again, 40 to make 100 pips, coming all the way back to the previous floor in my mind. Delta here's got to be a little deeper though, I think, for that trade. So we're going to come 800 pips down here. Let's make this just a juicy fucking 2200 minutes. So as I'm thinking about this, we're only 13 blocks down. Let's go for a big fucking win here of 1200 pips. I mean, this is going to be the big kahuna juicy one with a 40 pip stop. Now we're going to go for the, just give me a scalp, right? Just give me a scalp down here. That's a little too greedy down at the bottom, because if we're down here, the world's already come apart, maybe, I don't know. We'll do a 40 to make, I like that 40 pip stop. Feels good. Here's a nice juicy one at the bottom. But then let's put a scalper in down here. Just trying to make a measly 40 pips. Big fucking ticket too, so maybe you want to do that. And make this one a nice 1100. Make a sleeper cell down here. Wait, did I say that? No, sorry. Gotta be careful, but we do want a sleeper down here. How you play Call of Duty these days? Gee, these poor kids. 950. I'm just making shit up here, but I'm just thinking, yeah, 950, another 15 pips. You ever see the market dropping? You're like, not another 15 pips. Yeah, another 15 pips, please. We're going for a big fucking expiration down here. We're just going to go for it. 5,000 minutes. Whatever that comes out to on the clock. And let's just go for it. 8,000 fucking minutes on a big kahuna down here. With a big, too juicy of, let's just go for the 1200 with the 800. I'd be amazed if that hit. Let's recompile. So that was not going to affect the playback of this right now, but you can see I just set that up for some drama. But look at this beautiful fill on this. I love what it's doing now. I just love what it's doing. Oh, look at that. Oh, just beautiful. Still got pendings out here to fill. Oh, perfect. This is the best robot. Look at how these did expire. You know what? They didn't last more than a day and a half. It looks like a day is the limit. That's okay. I know the broker won't let them last that long anyways, but I did it anyways. Let's speed up to the end. Skip to the end. Let's see what we really end up with here with the super sensitive version. Very hyper vigilant version. And then I'm going to test what I just compiled and see where that takes us. Probably blow it up. Not enough greedy targets. Still using that 600, that 60 pip stop. That might be a little tight. But for the yen, that's kind of just kind of keep us from blowing the account up. Really, that's part of the game, right? That's what the kids say. Just don't blow up the account. Oh, nice here. Look at that. Oof. Wow, man. Heavy duty. Heavy duty. Kind of getting beat up here. Probably over trading a little bit on that 3-period RSI. A little bit too hypersensitive, I think so. We had, I think we're passing our trade amount from last time here. We were 340 on trades. Here we're going to get to about 600 trades, probably twice as many trades. The broker loves this robot. Broker's like, yeah, keep using that fucking over trading bot. We like when you run that fucking thing. They're going to blow up the account here. Big drawdown. We got in some heavy shit here. It was triggered. It was fucking triggered like a goddamn, oof, look at that. Oh man, look at this. I know what this thing's doing. It's so beautiful when you know how we got there. Because you loaded the fucking wagon on a plunge here. Look at that sizing. Oh, all the way to a 20. I can't wait to see the ratios. I just saw. This is like 20 bot tests in one, really. With a unified filters and a unified global trailing stop. I think is the best way to go. So I'm going to build versions of this robot and run them across different time frames and see how that works out. I'm not going to get a full reign of the account, but if it can make a passive income, right, like a shitty produced album, just like, yeah, all I did was turn on the tape machine. God, that's amazing what you did. This sounds amazing. Yeah, I know. I just want to turn on the effects, dude. Like, relax. It's not that big a deal. You'll be okay. Oh, look at that. It's completed. So I actually made a couple bucks there, starting with $2,500. A little white knuckle on the drawdown there. It actually traded 3 times as much. Traded its fucking ass off. Now let me see what it's going to do here. I'll probably blow it up now. At 842 trades, we were able to make about 1,600, like $800. Start with $3,000. We made $800. It kind of traded its ass off there. It looks like it really got hammered on some shit, but that's okay. We just want to do this experimental purposes only. Don't try this at home. We're going to go for the rewrite. I guess it does have a time limit for the expiration of the tickets. That's just how it is. Maximum speed. Zoom out a little bit. Give it some space here. And I want to see those first trades with those insane take profits now. Looking to take some serious drawdowns on those initial tickets very close to the market to get the big engulfing profit, the auction trade, really. So now we've gauged this to, well, the scalp, the high probability scalp right here, as we're coming down, we don't want to go for the engulf yet. It has to beat down all the way into the floor and just get pummeled, and then the retrace happens. So it goes further than you think, and it goes harder than you think, and it goes worse than you think. So we got the scalps built into these initial tickets here. So hopefully you can scalp that right now as it goes back up. Take something off the table here with those, not so much. So, but we got some wide stops on some of the smaller tickets. So it makes sense, money management wise, it makes sense to run a wider stop on a smaller position to keep the overall percentage of the risk of the account. That's why the martingale makes sense, because you're actually putting a different trade plan in. You're saying, well, fuck the fucking fuckers, and you go, I'm going to buy even more down there. Like, I don't give a shit about your stupid news reports, your bullshit projections, what's going to happen. Well, what if this happens? Well, what if, man? Fucking just go trade. I love when Trump was at that conference. He says, well, what if? There's a million what ifs. So you fucking just going to sit in the fucking fetal position all morning in your house waiting for shit to happen? Look at that beautiful entry. We kind of missed that. I wish we would have bought that plunge a little bit more. I'm slightly in this, right? I haven't seen the trailing stop kick in. Yeah, fuck. I just want to hit this fast forward button on this one, I got to tell you. Once again, I just lose total patience. If we ran the standard template, it would play a lot faster than this, I got to tell you. Let's do that. I want to see it play back. I want to see it trade. So just start it and just use fucking MetaTrader's template. And just let it be. Don't micromanage it. I do want to see the days, but oh, whatever. So this is super fast playback. MetaTrader's doing all the work there. I agree with these trades. I endorse this trading system. Buy low, sell high. Nice fill there. Scalping out those, see, I have those really kind of like not too greedy tickets, right? Get out, just get out, take something. And I made a real big diversification, if you saw there in my edit I just did. Now that could have different effects, right? We want to get to $5,000 here instead of just getting to $3,000. We want to have those sleeper cells do their dirty work down there. Do you see the trailing stop there? Isn't that beautiful? Look at that thing. Oh, it's just a beautiful thing to behold. Look at that. Protecting my profits. That's goober. Shit, look, it just got stopped out with a profit. But you know what? You got to do it because, look, it just got filled on more shit. So that's why you need the goober stop. I hate to say it, right? This is the the buzzer right when you make a lane change or something in these new cars. If you get like, I'm not buying a new car. I thought about it. No, I don't want you telling me what lane I'm in. I think I can. If I can't drive the car, what the fuck good am I? Besides, I'm trading while driving. If I can't trade while driving, then apparently I don't know what I'm doing driving the car. I shouldn't be driving. It's obvious I've reached my limit, my technique. I'm not able to. I thought I could drive, but no, I guess it's not. Like I thought, it's not that easy. Look at this thing selling into this. I love it, and it's got that nice target, that scalp target, just like I want for those very top tickets. And then we have the big, glorious targets if this thing comes all the way back to the starting gate. Beautiful. So sometimes it's in a hedge. Long-lasting tickets way down deep here. We're getting filled on the other way, so it's getting chopped up a little bit. I don't think it likes that so much. It's pretty hard to trade this other than using this, but it still adds up a whole $500. Come on, give me some of that. 83 trades under its belt. Hey, man. I'm not pulling the trigger. That's doing pretty good. Big sell crop up there. We're trailing some stop here, getting stopped out. Selling more, selling into that. 3-period RSI with the 90 filter. 90-10. Yeah, those are good trades. Sure. Just for a static robot, just doing easy clunky shit. Very sensitive though. Damn, it's just not going fast enough, is it? I thought it would go faster than that. It's not enough. Let's see what it does. Let it just rip. Try to get past that $4,000 mark on close. 15-minute chart. I know I got some juicy zingers in there. I put some outrageous tickets in there that really, if we can survive the trailing stop of 60, may not be wide enough trailing stop though. For some of these outlandish targets, you know, you need a nice 100 pip stop. That can actually improve the performance when you give it all the room. Look at this big fill here. This must have been that sleeper cell right there. Look at that spike there. That was crazy. Long expiration on that one. It's going to fizzle. It's going to get blown up here, it looks like. Unless it really pulls out of the woods here hard. Looks fucked. It's halfway through the amount of trades it traded last time without blowing up. Halfway through the racketeers. All right. Kind of like this equity curve here. It's kind of nice. Look at it, just piled in here hard. As hard as could be. Oh, that delta. I got to put a little deeper tickets on some of that. We could crawl out of the hole right now. Looks like we could pop through here to make it to $5,000 actually. Look at this thing pile in here on this strategy over and over again. Just the same relentless fucking RSI strategy. That's the nice thing about the discipline of a robot. It just, you tell it to do something, it does it. Hey man, you just what you told me to do. I know, but not so hard. Jeez, you blew up the fucking account. Oh, less trades. So let's do another setting change here. And let me do something crazy and set the delta. Let's set the delta to a tighter number. Just make everything right around 80 pips deep. So there's different trade plans all around the same delta. And see what that does. So here you'd be at 780. Delta here is fucking 750. and have this a focused bot that just does one slot of time. 70 pips deep. It's looking for a particular trade. 5 pips apart. 65 pips deep. 60 pips deep. The time's all that matters here. Oh, 55 pips deep. And let the rest of that go. So slight adjustment. 763 trades. Now we're going to tweak that a little bit, let her rip. I'm just going to go straight playback. I'm not even going to try to let it trade. See, I don't care to see it trade anymore. Pure data. Pure data annihilation here. So now we just really are going to focus in on that 80 pips deep shit. And we have different trade plans. And we're going to get in pretty heavy here. So we're either going to be a genius, or we're going to, instead of doing the spread everything evenly kind of DEI trading, it's going to be a focused, no, we're looking at that 80 pip shit. 75 pips, 80 pips deep, we want to in. At different time expirations, though. We've got different, see, we're already getting the $4,000, see? So you put a hot spot in there. Made all the difference. Plus the target, since we're buying 70 pips deep, we have a 60 pip trailing stop. If it's going to go through the retracement cycle, it's more likely to cash that trade plan out. So it's all about the settings. What's the scenario? Now it's going to get hurt, right? We're all the way back to $3,000, the original balance in the account. It's going to get hurt because the market just changed, and now it's trading way deeper. So it's going to make a lot. It could blow up. We still got about 300 trades left to go based on the last. But we're getting in more trades because we're getting in shallower. But there's more unique criteria for each trade. We could change the ATRs too and make those all different too. Since we're getting it at the same price generally here speaking, that global trailing stop is really based on a scenario for this whole pack of 20 tickets and how they're gonna, why they're gonna get in. Got to crawl out of this hole here. Now you got to go to $6,000 now. So that's a problem. I don't think we're going to make it now. It looks like we're dead. So still kind of made, for a moment there, we were doing very good. Very good. So let's see if we can tweak it one more time. And here we're just going to stick to getting in, donate these tickets on the top to a longer expiration. This is be a very aggressive bot. Let's set this to 200 minutes on the top, very close to the market. So everything here is going to be long lasting. They're small tickets. It's okay. Everything's 200 and up. Threshold for expiration. And as far as the depth of the market here, we're going to have to go deeper because we're so outlandishly in for everything here. 40 pips, at least 40 pips deep, 30 to 40. That's about it. So we started 40 pips deep, 35, And getting in kind of thick here, maybe break this down to 60, 665. The deeper the better. And now we're going to change the ATRs. Let's go for a very short period ATR on these top racks. Let's go 1. All right, 1. 1 is the loneliest number. Increase of 2. We'll go for 2 here. I just throw fucking numbers in there. I don't know. Just really tight numbers here on some of these. Increase of 3. Let this one be out, stretched out here. And come in and put a hot spot in here. A couple hot spots. Hypersensitive bullshit. Once again, throwing a zinger. Didn't see it coming. Yep. Well, once they stopped, they took those hormones away from me. Then the hose stopped moaning. Another. I'll put a 7 in here with a 5. God knows what that does. So it's all about experimentation, especially at this point. And we'll put a 10 by 10 at the bottom. No, a 10 by 8. Compile that fucking mess. Let's let her rip. Let's see what she does. Last scan was 796 trades, $700 profit. Quite the fucking whipsaw. Now this should be crazy. What did I say? 796. Let's let her rip. Let's see how many trades. 796 last time. And she's off to the races on a winning trade. That's what I'm talking about. Different criteria for the entry modules now. Diversification. Different, everything's different. Different entry price. Slightly, some of these are duplicate entries actually. But different criteria for each trade block. Going with about 80 pips deep is my maximum depth. Then we start getting stopped out. Want to hit that $6,000 mark and then come back and maybe we lose a little bit, but here we're not doing too good, so I think we're fucked. It's always darkest before the dawn. Got to climb out of the hole here and hit $5,000 right here. Got to climb out. Come on, you can do it. Cha-ching, bada bang. We've got, what do we do in the last edit? We changed the criteria for entry on the ATRs. Oh my lord, we're taking on some heat there. Yikes. Yeah, I think we overdid it. Too many tickets too close together. RSI is the global criteria for entries, so we don't have we do have the ATR filters. Man, look at this thing climb out of the hole, though. It's a hero on that fucking run there. If you open the account right there, you probably wouldn't feel too bad if it was able to recover. It's the recovery. I could probably widen the global trailing stop or tighten that. It would probably change the stats a little bit. I just wish we could just clear out the top out here and do a nice run for those big targets. Hey, $700. You got to close above $700 profit to be a success here. Looks like the end of the run now. I think I want to change the RSI. It's not trading hard enough. Same amount of trade, just a few more trades than last time, and actually didn't even make fucking $30. That's disappointing. Overdid it. Yeah, this didn't matter. Let's go for the tighter trailing stop. Make this a scalp bot. We'll do 30 pip stop. Kind of ridiculous, but sometimes that's the cure. But on the yen, I think it might be asking too much. Let's go to a 4-period RSI. Take this thing off the fucking crackhead mode. It's trading like a fucking tweaker. It's over trading. Okay, back that down a little bit. It's like adjusting the suspension in your car. Put some weights in the trunk. Keep it from bobbing around like a fucking loose goose out there. Alright. Like a wet noodle. Oh boy, that's not good. Look at this drawdown. Fuck. So I did a little bit less dramatic RSI entry, and I did a tighter stop of 30 pips. So we're just trying to take the money and run here, but we might get kind of stopped out to death here because we're not letting it hit those big juicy targets. So I might want to go to a 100 pip stop next. Go the other direction based on how this does. But I like to predict what's going to happen based on the setting changes that I've made, just so I can kind of think, yeah, you know, that's probably how that would go in the real world. If I kept on putting so many limitations, my girlfriend, she can't go to the mailbox, she can't go to eat, like that guy did, that producer, Phil Spector, that said, no, baby, you got to stay home. In fact, if you don't, I'm going to blow your fucking brains out. Oh, okay. I'm staying home. I'm staying home. Look, it's making money here. Look, it's protecting the account here. Look at this tight stop. Look at this. Forget what I said. It's not so bad that you took the gun out of my mouth. I kind of like you now. Look at this. It's fucking so, you know, tight stop. Tight global stop here. It's fucking cured it, you know. All right. Money management works. You know, look at that. Big clusterfuck of entries, and meanwhile, we're sweeping up the fucking trash here with this 30 pip stop. Look at that. So forget what I said. You know, safety, trading with the airbag. Now here could get hurt, still get hurt here because not hitting the big targets, but we don't always hit big targets, so we got to make at least above the $700 mark here at the end. I think I'm going to change the max tries and see what that does. That might let us trade more tickets. I think it's done. Well, we got there more safely. Right? We got there more safely, didn't we, folks? We got there in one piece. Look at that. Less trading, more money. Better in commissions. That's what I'm talking about. So maybe 40 pips is the sweet spot. Since we're getting at 40 pips deep, this is the magic here. The initial stop loss is 40. If that trade plan is going to work, that may be 40 here. And let me go back to, let me do something kind of outrageous. 95. I've done these settings before, so it's okay. You're going to be okay. We can put this at 2 for the RSI, and we're going to make extreme fucking values on the, I call this extreme fucking RSI trading. Like, I wouldn't want to look at the chart and decipher this trade, to be honest with you. I've been lying up to this point, but just to be honest with you at this moment in time, in this moment, like the politician, in this moment what we need is some over trading, everybody. Our brokers matter. Let's see what this does to the soup. Oh my God. Bitches fucking brew on this one, people. Gird your loins. Severe filtering of RSI. Nothing you'd ever want to look at on a chart without losing your fucking mind. This is the most binary shit I've ever seen. Like, it's 2-period RSI with a harsh threshold. I think we're going to blow it up. Bye-bye. If we don't blow it up, we're going to make a lot of money. Crawling out of the hole. This is the hole crawler. RSI is nice and easy. You get your brain around RSI because you look at it on your phone. You set it to 2 on your phone. And you go, yeah, I'm buying into that right now. I mean, you know what your system's doing when you look at your phone. Somebody asked about trading on the phone. Well, I just watched my account blow up on the phone. That's what I usually do. I'm like, fuck, we got to be blowing it up out now. Look at this. So look how it got in so hot and heavy there on that fucking sell-off that we know somewhere in the chart there's a rally or a sell-off where this thing was triggered to just double down like a bitch. I wanted to trade like 1,200 trades actually and get to $5,000, so I'll be like, okay, we don't have to worry about this hyper bot, this hyper RSI bot, threshold of 95.5, RSI of 2, contrarian trading, buys oversold. Oh, we cracked the, made it to 4,400 finally. Severe filtering. Severe filter. Nice. I like it. Like I said, it's not something I want to look at the chart and try to choose whether I'm going to take that trade or not. Now, the ATRs, I don't know if that's affecting this. I think it's more about the 40 pip trailing stop in the yen, psychotic settings, psychotic expirations. Okay, man, look at this. Now we're getting hit. This is where we get hit last time in the chart. Nice trailing stop, though. That's $700 once again. Only said, but high water mark there. Probably blow up the account. So look at that. You end up losing in the end. And I think you know why. Severe trading. Nice run on that fucker. But once again, the too greedy of a take profit. We could probably dial those down. Make it a scalper, you know. You can't overdo it. You know, you're not always going to, maybe you won't go get this run up here. So let's adjust that now. Let's try to just not get too greedy here. We're making the, this is a little bit too ungreedy. We're always trying to make those 30, 40 pips. So this needs to be a little bit bigger. 20 there. That's kind of a little bit too terrible. Now here maybe we go maybe a little greedy on that. 60 max. This one maybe 70. But consider how deep we're getting in. Now we got to drop this down. Got to get in deeper. I'll make this more aggressive by 100 minutes. Let's put this 100 minutes more. 200 minutes here at the top. Tweak this, dial this in. So this isn't a bad greedy ticket. This one may be a scalper. I just don't want to I don't think we're ever going to make more than 80 pips, honestly, in these trades. When you're getting into the market like this at the bottom, and you're in a 12K down there, that's a pretty good ratio. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see that. So we're going to make these less greedy at the bottom. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Just not going to happen. And this is stupid. Right? This is stupid. You're an idiot. 50 pips off the bottom. This is more complete nonsense. Maybe 70 pips off the bottom here. If you're lucky. Okay. $687. We're going to come in. we kind of had a nice high watermark there, but as you can see, too greedy. 687, start over again, another test. But this is what I do. I've done this for hours on end. And you can kind of see this helps you trade really in the end, because you can see how this is strategy. If I tweak it like this, how is this going to help me? How could this hurt me? What's possible? Let's go for the dramatic playback. Get a steeper looking chart here. Kind of want to see it. Feel the drawdown. Building a bot. Oh, I like when I see that. Yeah. See, that feels good. See, I like the feeling. And that's get over the feeling, you know, it is scary that what do you call the lead candles, man. Those lead candles, people just lose their fucking mind. So what I did here is I set less greedy targets. I still have a 40 pip trailing stop. This way we kind of scalp out. Hopefully we can clear, get to $1,500 profit at the end of 800 trades here now. These outlandish targets that people have, I think that's another thing that's hurting the situation. You're just really asking too much. And the market's constantly changing. It's pretty fickle. I'd really like to see us hit $5,000 here, even if I end up at only up $1,000 here. Okay, we're scalping out of those nice, juicy, big tickets there. Not looking for the 1,000 pips now. We get to go flat. Now we can make it to the 4,800 mark. So it's doing its nice scalping here. Trading the noise. No home runs. Here's where it's going to get hurt, although it typically gets hurt right here. All right, this is where it fades. We hit the high water mark here. Now it's going to get chunked, crushed. Very sensitive. We could put the RSI at 3, and that would probably back it down just enough. Right? Number 2 might be a little hyper. We'll try 3 next. These are all the things that the beauty of robots is you can test a theory and just do these minor tweaks and really see what does that do. Look at we made almost $800 this time, but look how it came off the top there. So better results though, I must say. That little tweak helped because it's based on pips actually. Because when we set that target a little less greedy, we were able to take those trades off the table. Let's go for a 3-period RSI. And maybe I'll even take off some of the trading hours so it's not constantly like a crackhead with its eyes wide open looking for the next trade. That can really wear out even the robot. Let me just trim off that first hour. Well, we know the spreads suck. Well, let's put it 59 seconds or for whatever to be all special about it. And here we'll get out 2,300 hours. We'll stop. Turn the robot off. We don't expect too much volatility there. And let's let that rip. Compile it. We've got 872 in trading. Slightly up. A better equity curve. Nice equity curve on that. You're telling me. So, here we go. Let's climb the mountain. There's going to be a drawdown coming. We know the drawdown's coming. We got the nice early targets here. Scalporama. Scalporama. What I usually do, though, is I'll put a 50K on that bottom ticket if I'm testing the depth of the market to see how many times this market a probe down there, because it's not always, you can't always tell if that one filter is happening on that bottom ticket. I do want to know that. So fucking hot out. I got a free sauna here. I just refuse to turn on the air conditioning. Computer's running hot. I feel like I'm in a music studio. Kind of gives me the feeling the old days we used to turn on the tape machine. It was so fucking hot. I thought the tape was gonna melt. You smell the tape machines burning. The smell of the fucking motor oil. That's just great. No, it's like fucking A, man. Here you just sweat. It's just a fucking. There's no fun. So we're climbing out of the hole here. This is the infamous hole climber. We know this exists. Our last tweak was to, I can't remember what it was. We did extended times on some of the shallow tickets. And we put in scalpers. And we changed the RSI to 3. So we made it less hypersensitive. We were still at 95 and 5 on the threshold for RSI to trigger. We can set it to actually 98 and 2. Uh-oh, I think it died. So that's it. Look at it. So not so good because guess what? Filter's too filtered. Right? So we over-filtered it. Now let's do something kind of barbaric. We're going to go to 80-20. The old 80-20 rule. And now we're just probably going to blow it up. But you got to do it, right? You got to see how, if you overtrade, what happens. I suspect you got to kind of guess what your robot's going to do with this edit. It's going to overtrade it, but it might make money and then blow up. We might get to $7 grand and then it blows up. So it's taking every fucking trade. 80-20. 3-period RSI, 80-20. Oh man, it's throwing itself in front of the train here. Wow. Honey, I got to add to the account. Like, can you do a cash advance? Can I get a cash advance against my account right here? I did start for $3 grand just to make it feel real. It's a real feel account. White knuckles. Uh-oh, 1,700. It's getting very close to blowing up there, so that's the problem. See? See what we did there? Too many trades. But, once again, it probably will climb out of the hole, screaming out of the hole, make it to $6 grand instead of $5 grand. And this aggressive trading style here with the RSI at 80-20 is giving you this nice, a lot of trading. Actually, 500 trades already. Uh-oh. I think they're going to blow it up. You're done. So now the tickets are too close together. The criteria is so sensitive. You need to have deeper tickets now. The delta needs to be so extreme now. Look at that, $900, man. Whew. Wow. That was a hell of a drawdown there, son. A white knuckle trade there, yeah. You fucking trade the shit out of it now. RSI says, if you're below 20, I want some of that. So you got to pay. Look at this. What it costs you. How many tickets you got in there? 860 trades. Oh, my God. 883. It's not coming out of the hole, though. Yeah, it's not doing too good here. 900 trades. It's still getting his ass kicked. Not good. Not good. So it's going to blow up. Too sensitive. Maybe if I go with a 2-period RSI with the 80-20. Oh, look at this. Going to blow it up. Too many tickets. Look at the size on that. Oh, I knew it. I knew if you put that too sensitive. Overtraded it. Son of a bitch. Let's compromise. Go 85. 85.15 with a 20. 85.15 with a 2 period RSI. Let's give it a little more room. 50 pips stop. Let's do the number of tries to 20. This might just blow it up right here. I can't remember if this even does anything. It's been a couple months since I tested these robots because something happens to you when you do this. You start to lose your fucking mind. Okay, there I said it. You really start to get like anxious and start talking to yourself and shit. It's not good. You get so needled to death, you just feel like somebody keeps touching you. Like, stop touching me. Okay, I don't even know what I did here. I did some edits. Oh, I changed the RSI settings to 2 and then 1585. A decent filter there, but the 2 is very binary. Same entry points though. Could set those a little deeper. The nice thing about the deep tickets, if there's a cluster down there and each one has a separate target and a separate reason that it's out there, it can have a little more diversification there, so you have a randomized entry. Okay, it's got to pull out of the hole here. This is the big drawdown typically here on this robot. We gave it the 50 pip stop now, which may let us hit our targets of 50, 60, 70 pips, which are okay ratios. You know, they're not the best, but part of this thing is just to get the fuck out of the market, take the money and run. Okay, big drawdown there. That's not good. But this is where we build a position, actually, in the last test. We built a position off of this. A wider stop there, so we can hold more of this swing trade. But then again, if it goes against us by 50 pips or more continuously, yes, you will fucking blow up the account. It's so funny when people ask you a question like, well, how do you make it so there's no fuck, you can't. Like, how do you keep your wife, how do you get her to shut the fuck up and tell her that, you know, I love you, honey, but shut the fuck up? You can't, right? So you have to split the baby, right? Or, you know, you got to be like, that's why I'm trading multiple tickets. You know, I love you to death, but I don't care about your fucking nails. As long as you can scratch my back, and I'm not going to scratch yours. This is an interesting equity curve here, but look at that drama there. So you can see that RSI is definitely the motivation for entry. The 2-period RSI, man, wow, it's just flipped the switch there. It's so hard. Oh, look at that. Oh, jeez, I think I'll blow it up now. Yeah, you're done. So now it's going to go off the rails. Look at 1,000 tickets, so way too much trading, right? 1,000 trades. Oh, Jesus. Wow, dude. Look at some of these spectacular runs. Not a lot of money, though. So what should we do? How about we turn off the filter? Make this false. I just want to show you something. Let me show you something. Fire Marshal Bill says turn this to false. Turn to stone. False. Take off the fucking rails. Let her rip. It is what it is. A complete hedge bot now. I think it just throws tickets out there. It blow up in 2 seconds now. 0 filters. Filterless. So now it's just a trade plan. I do have 20 tickets, I think, set. Might have made it go over the top too. 20 retries. So it's just raw dog trading now. No filter. I think it'll blow up. Because there's no... It's going to overtrade it. I think. I always like to speculate on what the robot's going to do based on the settings I did. I mean, that's kind of where you test your ideas of how you think these... Like, does that even make sense what you're saying? It's filterless now. It's got the trailing stop of 50. That's my only filter, is kind of money management. Protect the account if you can. It's just freewheeling trading now. No filter. We might hit $6,000 here because of that. So I've debated whether to put a filter on it because if it makes sense to buy low and sell high, why not just let it do that, right? Why are you trying to give it this? Our RSI has to be. Really? Does it have to be that? Does it really have to be that? If you can hit $6,000 here, isn't that what really matters? Can we hit $6,000? If all of a sudden we end up pummeling through here at $6,000. Nope, looks like it's going to chop. Here's where it got hurt last time. Because it's actually taking trades that may not be any good for it. Here it takes every trade regardless. It's a true hedge bot at this point. With the RSI turned off, you're in pure raw dog hedge mode. See, there you go. Now you're able to spike up to almost $5,000 now because of that. ATR is driving the show as far as what tickets kind of get filled here, but it has a nice trailing stop of 50. If we end up at up $2,000 here, I would say just take the RSI off. If you can build it without the RSI, that's the best way to go. It's pure pips then. It's literally trading both directions. We may end up blowing the account though. It could blow up the account now because now it's saying I'll trade anything. Right? Look at now I could have a drawdown that's immense now. Because it is filterless. Right? All the way back down. Look at all the way back down. So if you don't get out here at almost $5,000. Look at it, trades its ass off. 1,700 trades. Trades like a motherfucker. Could blow up though. Certainly gave back a lot there. 1,800 trades. I lost fucking $200. What a run. So maybe a tighter stop. Let's put a stop in of 30 pips here. I also reduced the trading time, didn't I, a little bit? Let's go for 30 retries. I don't even know what that does, if it does anything. But maybe that's why it's trading its ass off. I want to watch it trade this time. Because I think it's so crazy what it's doing. I think it's throwing tickets in above and below like just you can't even believe. Let her rip. Let MetaTrader use its template. I'm going to zoom out though to give it the full effect. All right, let's watch the equity. So it's basically doing fucking A, it just throws tickets on both sides of the market. It does not give a shit. No filter, right? I think that's what it's doing. Let's take a look at what it's doing. Expiration is all that matters here, and the stops, and then take profits. I guess it's just putting in tickets above and below. That looks symmetrical, right? I think so. Let's see. Let's make sure. Yeah, it's putting in symmetrical tickets. That makes sense. Yes, I believe you. So tighter stop, 30 pip stop. Let her rip. Fast forward now that I see what it's doing. So it's just trading like crazy. That's what you want. Trades and makes money. Wait a second. Please hold. Your call is very important to us. I'm sorry. Your Cuban sandwich is back ordered. A lot of people in the bleachers were upset about that robot that you built. They loved it when it was making money, but then, they try to steer the ship, and turned out that there's no off button. It took over the account and steered it into the shore continuously into the dock. I knew I should have bought dock insurance. I'm a fool now. I feel like a fool. I should have bought dock insurance. Cuban sandwich insurance, actually. Did you read the fine print? If for any reason your account should blow up, crash and burn like your last relationship, we withhold the right to tell you to go to hell when you try to sue us. We send you a boat with a steering wheel stuck to the right, so it just goes in circles. That's your trophy. You could be one of those proud sacrificial lambs to the communion of the... This is how the Scientology thing works. Well, you're just, a cog in the wheel. Aren't you proud of that? Be a good soldier. Take one for the team. Go ahead, trade the shit out of the account. Sure, I know you own the brokerage firm. Getting kickbacks. I would blow it up right here. Look at this. This is not coming out of the woods, man. Too tight a stop. Way too tight a stop. Sorry, Sparky. Look at that. Oh, my Lord. How are we not blowing that up? Let's put a fucking ridiculous stop here of like 80 pips. I'm telling you. Fuck the fucking fuckers. Look at this thing come out of the hole, though. Forget what I said. Look at this fucking thing climb out of that hole. Did you ever? Holy shit. That's impressive. I opened my account right here. Yeah, I use that fucking filterless system. I know how'd that work out. Pretty fucking good. Especially here when I got in here. Oh my God, we loaded the wagon. Look at these fucking tickets. Holy shit me. Big stop. I mean, tight stop on that. Look at it. It's taking it off the table. Well, maybe not so much. Now we're going to blow it up for sure. Bye-bye. Look at that. 1,500 trades. Oh, man, look at that fucking run, though. Look at it. Look how spectacular that is. Huh, tell you what, man. That's symmetrical hedge trading. There's something there. I'm telling you what, there's something to be had there. That is a nice fucking run. Like, if your robot's making that kind of money, you see him come back from a fucking loss like that, make $2,000 in like a few trades, get him the fuck out of the market. It's the same as this run here. Notice this kind of, these are the retracements, right? That is coming off that spike. That's all that money. This is buying into, perpetually selling or buying into the market going against you, or the market just not moving enough for you to really make any money. Uh-oh, all the way back down. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, now I set an insane trailing stop of 100 pips. Holy shit. Let her rip. I've done this for hours on end, so if you're still watching. And I think I've even talked to myself about the fucking trade that's about the... Like, how we can blow up the account? Training to blow up your account. Too many tickets for no apparent reason. I just put a 100 pip stop on this scheme. Plenty of room to make the swing trade. The engulfment. But plenty of room to blow up the fucking account by overloading with too wide of a trailing stop and not taking anything off the table, relying on the scalps that I've already put in, these hard ticket scalps here to make X on each module, each 20 blocker. But now we got 40 tickets out there, above and below. Possibly. If a criteria is met on every trade block and maxes the account out, right, or maxes out this one robot on one account, just imagine the possibilities. You have to imagine the trades. We need imagination here to build these robots, though. Single trick ponies. This is the immense drawdown. Now I don't know if we'll survive this drawdown. Remember, we're down to $700 here. We came screaming back to 3,000. We're holding on to more tickets now because of this 100 pip stop. We're able to build a position here, maybe with $1,400 in the account. Although we had that nice money management, that 30 pip stop, but the problem there is that we're just not getting to ride the big fucking waves. It's a little bit too. So having some tight stop bots with some wide stop bots and all these different kind of criteria simultaneously running, it's a good enough bot, right? Not every employee is a fucking genius. And what can you say about look at Elon Musk? There's a complete example of, like, you know how Einstein's hair was fucked up? This guy doesn't know what the fuck's going on. In other words, he lives in a bubble of like things making sense. He doesn't understand crowd behavior and chaos, right? He just doesn't get it. Look at this thing scream out of the hole better, though. I'm giving it a 100 pip trailing stop. So less drawdown, you know, you'd think it would be a bigger drawdown. Well, the too tight a stop is a problem too. We've already got our hard stops that we put in there. Some are wide, some are tight. We got some not so greedy trades in there. Now here's the drawdown issue. This is the part where we get hit typically. The volatility's changed in a way that doesn't match our entry criteria. We're just getting in raw pips deep. All this whole trade plan is based on how deep are we getting in. What is the expiration of each ticket? How deep it is away from the market. And we have the ATR, which I don't know if that's affecting anything. But I did kind of jumble those numbers up to see if we could get some kind of cause and effect there where that's going to adjust for the situation. Here's a chance for us to take out the $4,000 equity mark on the account, because I think there was a run there, although this run here is nice and spectacular. And this is just one robot, kind of amazing. But look at this, nice, and then just climax out, takes out this, kind of time to get the fuck out, right? What a run. Nice run here, sideways action, then pounce. A big hit here. Big fill of tickets, though. We can always tell when we're getting filled on these big tickets. We see this jump up high. Yeah, I want to fast forward. I guess we did fast forward. This is as fast as it can crunch all this shit. We're in fast forward mode. I wish this computer was faster. I don't get it. It's a single core event, this thing. So if you had 40 cores, it wouldn't help you here. Unfortunately, I just big drawdown here. A nice screaming run there. How about we do this here, since I don't have the patience for this shit. So this is where I start to employ the crude playback. I want to go for just raw data. Let's see how close we are to the results in the raw playback. I just want to see if the trade logic makes sense here. I don't have time for that all ticks shit. If it blows up, it blows up. Kind of the same equity run, not as good actually. It did a little bit better with the real ticks, with each tick. It's doing nice here. I just want to get a feel for where it ends with this data. I just trade sideways, it looks like. It just kind of churns the account. So it does kind of blow up the account. You end up down $2,000 on that. And Let me restrict the trading time severely. 4 to 20. Let me see if this is even working. These things don't always work, you know. These settings don't always change shit. So we're basically 5 hours in. It's 1791 trades. Let's let her rip. We're looking at the amount of trades now. Avoid some of those dead sessions. Or just cut down on the amount of trading. Simply that. Just trade less. It's a good strategy, but just too many fucking tickets out there. Oh, geez, I don't know. Now it's not trading enough now, see? So it did work. Traded less, missed more opportunities. So big problem there. That's why I like a robot that's going to trade 24/7 because I know I'm not going to. That's why I hired this robot. I want you to be my fucking workhorse. I don't want to do all that shit. Keep dropping that stupid ticket rack. What do I look like, a fucking machine? So we're going to full out here 24/7, 24/5. Trailing stop of 100. I said I was going to make it 100. I did not. Delta is going to go super deep. We're going to start at 50 pips deep. We're going all the way to like 80 pips deep. Super deep delta. 70 pips. Nothing, everything 50 pips or deeper. This is not deep enough. 85 pips. This lets us put different kind of targets in. Sleeper target. 5K. It's a lot of work, all these little adjustments. A lot of work. Definitely worth it though. 85 pips deep. 65 pips deep. Once again, how about 90 pips deep? How about 95 pips deep? So these super deep ones are where the money's at, I think, as far as if you're going to be a super swing trader. I would go 75 pips deep. This lets us really double down on this robot, on this slot, this hot spot. 92 pips deep. I'll just throw a zinger in there. And 88 pips deep. I love that 80 pips deep. I love 8. 8 to the 88. This one we're going to go for the infamous 100 pips deep. And this will go 1100 pips deep down here maybe. This will be a deep swing trading robot that really looks to cash out on these psycho runs. 1200 pips deep here. I should probably put a 60 pip target on this one though. It's so deep. So this is like layered robots really, because this far away delta. These are deep deltas. 1300 pips deep. We're looking to make at least 990 pips on that. Right, if that's really going to happen. Okay, now we're going to take this down to 1200 pips. I don't want to go too deep, too far. 1120, that's good. I don't want to be too deep. 1180. putting in hot spots down here. How about just 1100 even? So that's the rock bottom ticket there. I put a greedy target in this one. 90 pips. 80 to make 90. Maybe tighten this stop up a little bit. It's so big, we want to have a nice ratio on that, right? Maybe make this 70 pip target based on where we're at. Super plunge. Super long expiration. We take every trade. 1479. Blew up the account. Let's do it again. We just put in deeper shit. Going for the, I think I could put a 100 pip stop on that, didn't I? It's fucking crazy. This may be too much. If it's too much, take a nap. Take a nap. I just love to watch this thing crawl out of a hole because I know what it's doing. It's just doubling down on this fucking retard. Super deep now. We're looking to buy super deep. We know that these tickets are filling down here. So look how it's done trading there. See, 800 tickets now. The same data, but look how it treated the data because it never got down that deep. And when it went down deep, look how it made money. So it made it lost $500. But see what it's doing there is it getting super deep. I'm going to go run this on the... let me change the time frame. I want to see if this makes any difference. This should make a difference, right? 1 hour. Now it's on the 1 hour chart. Blows it up. Let's try the 5-minute chart. I love stuff that can do the 5-minute chart. I feel like that's a true robot. 5-minute chart. A lot of ticket throwing. Oh, he's gonna blow it up. Looks nasty. This is also this is not every tick playback either. This is the crude playback. 5-minute chart. Super deep tickets. Oh, it's done. Well, it didn't trade too much. Let's try a 4-hour chart. Probably won't even run on the 4-hour chart. Yeah, it just blows up. Can't handle it. Anyways, that's the kind of stuff that I'm working on. Like here's another bot. Let's just see what this does. I just wrote that one, just kind of experiment. Same problem. Let's try it on this. On the euro dollar. Well, gee, it doesn't like the euro. Look at this big fill down here. Wow. Look how it fills on that big deep ticket every now and then. Wow, that's amazing. That's a euro dollar. Wow. I think this is the one that I wrote. So this is the one that I wrote that has this, when I was testing it, I made a really big ticket down at the bottom there. So this is one of those, it's trading like these blocks and stuff. So that goes super deep there. And I put a really big ticket in there just to see what happens when that happens. 395 trades. This is be every tick now. 395 trades on a 4-hour chart though. That's maybe a problem. We have to go to a different time frame. There's a lot to think about with the robot. When you do manually trading, it's very easy to think about, okay, let me just double click a script that's going to put in a nice little thing right in front of the market. And you kind of know what's going to happen, you know? Gee, I don't know if this is going to work. Seems to take too long. Here we go. Here's a trade, every tick. Nice fat trade there in the beginning, though. Look at that scalp. Is that it? Huh. That is, starts off really good there. $250 out of the gate. Nice. Take too long. Take too long to test it. Just don't have the patience. Let's put it on the 15-minute chart. Maybe it does better on the 15. Trades more. Oh my God, come on. You can do it. Come on. Yeah, it'll take forever. God damn. Too complicated of a robot. Here we go. Oh, it's trading more because it's a 15-minute chart. That's doing better. I like that 15-minute chart. Robots that run on the 15-minute chart are worthy to trade. They trade enough to make it worth your while. There's enough frequency in the trading, you know? So far, so good here. Yeah, this robot can look really good and then it can just blow up. Of course, you know, you just become completely the worst thing in the world. Just too hard to fine tune them. I say a robot has a range. These are range bots. I call these range bots because they're tuned to a particular amount of volatility, and when market heats up too far, you have to pull them out of the system because they're gonna get crushed. They're not set up. As you saw, those adjustments that I did, putting in too tight a stop, too wide a stop, too many tickets, too sensitive entry criteria. Here are the criteria. I'm not sure what this robot's running on actually because I haven't looked inside of this one in a while. But I suspect it's doing the same kind of, a lot of tickets. I know I have that one that has that big hot spot in there. But some of these things are not written like that. They're not written like the one that has those little areas with the ATR. Some of them are written to be just the old ones where I had just a bunch of tickets in there. And those are different kind of criteria, and I try to make different arrays easier to edit. And I wanted to make it as elaborate as possible, but still be streamlined enough to trade so the computer doesn't choke on the EA and crash. We don't want it to crash. Looks like it's done trading. Is that it? Every tick? No, it's still going. Holy shit. So, I guess that's it. I'm done. I've had enough.